Hi everyone, this is John Kelly. I wanted to hop online real quick and address some of the questions I've been getting about the hot air balloon accident that happened in Eloy, Arizona here January 14th in Eloy, Arizona. This is just south of Phoenix, north of Tucson. There's a big open desert area. There was a hot air balloon, if you haven't heard, up in the air with 13 people inside. It sounded like there was about 8 people that were planning on doing a parachute from the balloon. There was an operator and 4 passengers. Unfortunately, 3 people have lost their lives, including the operator, and another girl's in critical condition in the hospital. A tremendously tragic situation, and my heart goes out to those families. I understand that they're going through something completely tragic and unexpected. So the question that came through was from Mason, who had asked, how does this investigation proceed, and is there going to be criminal charges? Well, the investigation is going to proceed, and there's already local police and actually federal level. The National Transportation Safety Board is on scene doing an investigation, local police and other agencies. And eventually they'll come down to a determination of how they believe the accident happened. In aviation accidents, in my law firm, I understand that they're very well investigated as opposed to maybe an auto accident that's typical. The good news is there'll be a lot of reports, both from the federal agencies, local police, and there could be criminal charges. But ultimately, for these families to get justice, they're going to need a civil case brought, a lawsuit brought to continue to investigate, because at some point the police move on from it. And the families sometimes are left with additional questions and lack of compensation for what happened. So there would be a company that operated the air balloon, and the operator, I believe, was the owner of the company. And the question becomes, was the safety rules followed? And usually in a hot air balloon crash, which is relatively rare, there are a lot of safety rules and regulations that guide people on how to use them. I believe the envelope of the balloon area of the hot air balloon potentially had a malfunction, which was being reported. So, you know, there's a lot of safety regulations of before you go up. Did you check your equipment? What kind of equipment did you bring? Was it the right equipment to keep these passengers safe? And then up in the air, was the hot air balloon being operated correctly? Was enough fire being propelled up into the balloon to keep it afloat? Did the air pressure in the balloon go down and cause the balloon to fall and crash? These are all things that can come out, and you know, for the families, they're going to need the right law firm to get out there to inspect the scene, to hire an investigator to look into these things, and actually hire experts that are involved in the aviation industry, the hot air balloon industry. I oftentimes will hire an aviation expert very specific to the facts, that knows the operational equipment and what may have been wrong, so that we can investigate, get down to the nitty-gritty details of how the accident happened to try to obtain compensation. The other end of that is, once you know what happens, how do you get a recovery or, you know, effectuate change? And those are big issues, because there's often insurance involved, and understanding the corporate insurance and the personal insurance. Maybe there's a couple of companies involved. It could be a manufacturer's issue. So, you know, these are issues that I think need to be looked at. So Mason's question that he had asked earlier about, you know, whether this is, how does this get investigated? You know, really it's a criminal investigation by several agencies. They kind of combine and work together, but ultimately, if there's no criminal charges, then it becomes a civil case, and a civil case is only for compensation or money for the surviving victims. So if the families, you know, who have unfortunately lost a loved one are wanting to investigate further, they need to hire a law firm that's going to dig into the details and understand what happened so that they can get compensation for the case.